Welcome to those who have joined us. We hopefully will have a few more popping in. I'm Mrs. Green. I am an art teacher here at for our virtual academy, and I have the pleasure of introducing our panelists. So we have with us today Claire Grady from Grady Communications. We have Boudica Ekenyake from Lighthouse Studios, and Mia Johnson from Los Angeles County Department of Arts and Culture. So in just a moment, we will begin. I have some questions I'll be asking our panelists, and they'll take turns responding to those. But if you have any questions in the audience, you are welcome to use our Q&A feature. So down at the bottom of your screen, you should see a little chat box that says Q&A, and you are free to type in questions that you have for the panelists there. And we will get to those the best that we can. So the first question, I'm going to kind of combine the first two that were on your on the questions that were given to our panelists. So the question is, what was your career path to get where you are? And also, what is relevant education or training for your career path? So what was your career path to get to where you are today? And what relevant education or training helps you get there? Ms. Grady, you're unmuted. Would you like to start with that? And then we'll go to Ms. Johnson and around to Mr. Ekenyake.
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I am a freelance writer and communications consultant. So I got my bachelor's degree from Cal State Northridge, and in journalism with an emphasis on public relations. And then I started working in a PR agency in LA. It focused a lot on media relations, which is when you pitch the media to try and secure stories for your clients. And then I moved on to a public affairs firm in Austin, Texas. So we were working on a lot of legislative issues and communication strategy. And from there, I started freelancing. So I have been running my own company for the past 3 years, going on 4 years. And it's really just me, along with a couple fellow subcontractors. But what I do now is communications consulting and mostly writing for a variety of industries, but primarily it's education, school districts, AV Union High School District being one, healthcare, and a bunch of other oddball sectors. So that's been my career path ever since college.
Thank you very much. Ms. Johnson?
Hi, Hi, I'm Mia Johnson. Currently, I'm with the Los Angeles Department of Arts and Culture, and I'm working to help expose young people to the creative industries. It's like Claire's job, to be able to show young people that they can enter the creative sector in arts and entertainment and be living out their dream if they so choose. My particular path to get here was very interesting. I started working at 13 years old at a dance theater and got exposed to the nonprofit sector, which is basically an organization that doesn't make money. And I started working there very early and started learning about nonprofit management, bookkeeping, and I took those skills and have applied them over the years. I earned a bachelor's in journalism and a bachelor's in African American studies. And then I decided that I wanted to pursue a master's degree, and I pursued a master's degree in public administration. And public administration is usually the public sector or government or public school system, public education. And I have been working in that realm of public sector work and nonprofit work for the last 25 years. And where I am currently, ironically, is in arts administration and public administration. So not only did I apply the skills that I learned when I was 13, but I also am applying what I learned from my degree program, and it is applied daily. So I'm so thankful that I was able to pick up those skills along the way.
Thank you for sharing. Up next, Mr. Ekenyake, same questions. What was your career path to get to where you are, and what relevant education or training did you have?
So I'm a little. Good morning to everyone. I'm a little different to your other two panelists. My career path. I started when I was in high school. I was born and raised in a different country, and the journalists were kind of attacked in that country, and journalists were kind of a heroes. So I built a passion towards journalism, and then I wanted to be a journalist one day. So I started in high school. I remember these days, 10th grade. Me and my friend, we had the same passion. We're competing with each other to come up with taglines for different businesses. Like, you know, when you hear a tagline, you feel that business. Like when you hear "I'm loving it," you know, it's about McDonald's. So we want to come up with some taglines for different businesses. This is for fun, and that's how we started our passion, and that grew up to a different level. And I was interested in radio journalism. So I studied that in my country, and then radio become newspaper. So I want to learn that. So I studied that in a little bit in there, and then newspaper become television and video production. So that's where I'm at right now. So it's grew up with the passion of to the journalism, and I did not attend to any of the film schools or any of the media or journalist schools that teach this technical. Don't take any ideas, but that's probably a good way to go. But I learned everything by doing it. I started my productions for free for people I know. People start asking to get this thing done, something related to the media. So I started making a little film, little documentaries for them for free. And I started learning. I started buying equipments, and I started learning what not to do. That's the best way to describe myself, where I'm at right now. I learn what not to do. And sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's fun. And right now I'm at a position. I have this studio in Lancaster, and I provide my services to a lot of businesses. I promote other businesses by making videos, including the Antelope Valley High School District. If you go to your website, avdistrict.org, if you scroll it down, you'll see one of my videos that showcase on the bottom. So that's where I'm at. I think the passion is where it starts. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Just a reminder to those that are in attendance, there is a Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. If you click on Q&A, you are able to ask questions to our panelists. Our next set of questions will go in the same order. The question is, what is a fun thing about your job? So what is something fun? Also, what is challenging about your job? Ms. Grady?
So for me, because I work for myself and I get to, choose who I want to work with, one of the fun things about my job is just the variety, getting to get entrenched in a lot of different industries and learn about them, keeps things fresh, keep things moving. So no 2 days are alike, and that's important for me. A challenging thing is, as working for yourself, it can be difficult to manage it all. So it's great to rely on subcontractors and also just understand what you can and cannot do in your workload. As far as skills wise, even though I can write about a number of different topics. There's always a chance for, continuing education. Sometimes that's fun and challenging. So no matter, where I'm at and some of the clients that I work with, I will always find myself needing to hone my skills a little bit more. And whether I do that by just practicing them more, taking on different types of projects, or relying on another professional to kind of teach me the ropes, taking a class. That's been something that has been not necessarily challenging, but interesting to continue to not only grow in your profession, but also just continue to hone your skills, expand the things that you know and that you want to specialize in.
Ms. Johnson, something fun, something challenging.
Wow. I would honestly say the fun part is, fun fact, I spent about 20 years in the Antelope Valley, and my daughters attended Antelope Valley High School District schools. And every single day in my job, I am advocating for young people just like my daughters and young people like you to be able to enter the creative sector. Um, just like our guest, Mr. Ekanake, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, that he was able to live out his passion. And it all started when he was a young man. And so if I have the opportunity to help a young person discover that they can live out their passion and their dreams and be able to still earn a paycheck, that is the most fun and rewarding part of my job. I would say the most challenging right now is probably just being away from everyone. We have been working from home for almost 2 years now. And so it's been challenging to become, you start to feel a little isolated. You miss getting with your coworkers, going down for coffee and having lunch together. So I miss those days for sure.
All right, we have a few questions in the chat we'll get to in just a moment, but Mr. Ekenyake, if you want to take your turn on something fun, something challenging.
Oh yeah, everything's fun in my field. I don't consider my job as a job. That's where to start. The attitude starts with, this is not a job. This is my passion. So everything I do is become a fun thing because I have so much fun doing what I do because I get to decide what I design. I create all these videos that I create for clients, or including the high school district. I create the way I want to showcase. So that gives me a pleasure of when someone's watching one of my videos, it gives me a pleasure. Okay, I created it. I started from the scratch. I design where to put my camera, how to record audio, what question to ask, what question to elaborate. So that kind of little details I decide and I design it. So that makes it so much fun. So every day, all day, everything I do become so much fun because end of the day, it's a satisfaction. That's fun. The challenging part is finding same people in the same page. That's the most challenging part because when you're in this industry, you want people to understand what the message, the end message, or what we're trying to achieve. If you don't understand what we're trying to achieve, if you don't have the other person next to you, other videographer or other editor who edit these videos, don't understand that concept of what you're trying to achieve, that becomes challenging. So finding that person, videographer, sound designer, engineer, or editor, finding the right person has the same mindset as I do is the most challenging part for me. But you live and learn. You hire people, you get to know people, and you understand what their strength, and that become easier later on. So that's my experience.
All right, thank you. So there's been a couple of questions in the chat. A few of them actually got answered by some of those answers. We're going to do one last question and we'll do a speed round, 10, 20, 30-second answer of what's the best piece of advice you would offer a high school student who would like to be in your profession? And maybe that will kind of even answer a few more questions in the chat and we'll see if we can get to some more. So Miss Grady, what's the best piece of advice?
Best piece of advice. Well, I would say you're probably going, if you choose to go to college, or even if you choose to, just do some kind of post high school education, you're probably going to realize that there are a lot more career paths than what you had originally had in mind. So I think, my best advice, if you want to go, to what I do, which is freelance writing, is really to just practice your skill. You don't need to have a job to be able to start kind of building up your portfolio. You can do that on your own. You can do it just for fun. And that will really help you once you enter a field, because you never know what you're going to have to show for yourself. It's very competitive in the workforce, and you want to be able to not only, give yourself a competitive edge, but also it just helps to practice. If you want to go more of a traditional public relations route, you have to be able to live, and breathe in that industry. So you should be reading a lot of news articles, subscribing to a lot of magazines. Those are small things that you can do that will really place you ahead of the pack and give you a lot of context, and actually probably answer a lot of questions of, is this the industry and the type of job you really want to be in? Because you never really know for sure until you get in it.
Just looking at the time, we just ran out of time. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you, panelists, for all that information. To the students, you are going to a workshop next that starts in 2 minutes. So you will go back. What do? I think you go back into the auditorium and then you click on the screen again, like the movie screen, and then find the workshop and hit join for your workshop. So anyway, thank you, panelists. Thank you for being here, students. And at this time, we are going to end this session.
Thank you so much.